Hello, and thank you for joining us for the 2020 State of the City Address for the City of Placentia. I am Joe Rasick, the President of the Placentia Chamber of Commerce, and on behalf of the Chamber, it is my pleasure to host this year's address presented by our Mayor, Ward Smith. I happen to have a little bit of insight about the Mayor's presentation today, and I believe that you'll find his presentation energetic, insightful, and inspiring. The Chamber has had the pleasure of hosting the State of the City Address for several years, and we are proud of our relationship with our city leaders. 2020 has been a challenging year for most of us, with the current pandemic creating obstacles never realized by our city, community, and especially our small businesses. And once again, Placentia has proven to have the strength and grit to grow and to become an even stronger city while facing these adversities. The Placentia Chamber of Commerce mirrors these results. Our membership has remained strong, with clear communication being provided to our businesses on how to navigate the PPP process, finding grants for our members, and continuing to lead weekly Zoom meetings, allowing businesses to market their goods and services. We hosted a call with Congressman Cisneros back in April that allowed our members to have direct access and to ask the questions they needed answered. We became a beacon of guidance that has led our members to have the confidence to continue to fight and strive for future prosperity. While 2020 has not been the year that many of us had hoped for, I have no doubt that we will move into the next year as a stronger, more focused community. The Chamber would like to thank the City for the support they provided many of our businesses during this pandemic. The transition of our Placita Santa Fe community literally may have saved some of our businesses in that historic area, and the grant money provided to other restaurants to help offset the cost of outdoor dining was a welcome relief. I know that Ward is excited to share many of the great accomplishments in Placentia during the past year, so without further delay, it is my pleasure to introduce our Mayor, Ward Smith.
Good morning, Placentia. Today, for the first time in Placentia's history, we are not delivering a live State of the City address. We are at City Hall taping this with only a few staff members, not a room filled with my friends, neighbors, and colleagues. Nonetheless, the question I am tasked with answering today is, what is the state of our city? Well, over the last few months, here's what I've seen. I have seen our Placentia police officers and firefighters respond courageously to calls for help, even with new and unforeseen challenges during the line of duty. I've seen small businesses that have pulled out all of the stops to make sure their business survives during this unprecedented time. I've seen healthcare workers fearlessly saving lives and putting their own health at risk. I've seen unmatched community collaboration and partnership across several faith-based organizations and nonprofits throughout the city and the county working together when it matters most. I've seen neighbors checking in on each other to offer a helping hand. I've seen teachers learn new technology and students doing their best to adapt to distance learning. I've seen parents working from home while juggling homeschooling, meal preparations, and household chores. For all that I've witnessed over the last few months, I want to say thank you. I want to thank you for your resilience and resolve. We are all adapting and making modifications to our daily lives to get through this very difficult and challenging time. I truly believe where there are challenges, there are opportunities. Placentia still reflects local government in its strongest form, but we are also adapting alongside the rest of the world. Some of our most beloved community events have been changed, including the cancellation of our annual Heritage Parade and Festival. We held virtual grand opening events of developments that have been in the works for years. We've temporarily closed certain facilities and programs, but yet we held virtual concerts and drive-in movie events. In fact, we have a short video of Mayor Pro Tem Jeremy Yamaguchi participating in a drive-in movie event.
This year, COVID-19 has been a difficult challenge for the City of Placentia, but our community services staff has stepped up to the challenge, providing activities and fun events for our community, even though we're in the middle of a pandemic. One example is here at City Hall tonight. We have our drive-in movies instead of our movies in the park. We had virtual concerts on Facebook Live instead of our concerts in the park. Concerts took place here at City Hall, broadcast live with our production staff, as well as from our Placentia Fire Department. We've also taken our classes online with virtual instructions for both residents and students. With all of this becoming a challenge, we're very proud and appreciative of all of our community services staff and volunteers that make all of our events still a great opportunity for our residents.
Despite our modifications, we've remained committed to serving the public in the safest way possible. During this pandemic, City Hall remained open and accessible to businesses and residents through the small reception area in the front of City Hall. Since March 19th, the city processed 108 plan checks, 589 building permits, and issued 256 new business licenses. We equipped our field personnel with personal protective equipment. We equipped our facilities with hand sanitizers, plexiglass, social distancing, floor decals, and distributed face masks. The city's planning division continued to receive electronic submittals, review permit applications, and discuss new development applications via conference calls. Our staff in development services has processed a total of 8 projects through our planning commission since March. Despite several facility closures, our neighborhood services office remained open. Since March 19th, they have distributed over 8,000 free meals through our weekly food distribution events. They continue to help service our residents with essential services such as meals, groceries, hygiene products, and free face masks. We also closed our senior center. However, despite the closure, staff provided meals to our seniors by delivering over 6,000 lunches to their homes since March 19th. I have been humbled by the outpouring of support from our faith-based organizations and nonprofits that have provided donations to our community. The Rotary Club of Placentia, of which I'm a proud member, spent hundreds of hours building face shields to distribute to our first responders. I'm also very grateful to our local restaurants that, despite being in tough times, provided free meals to our first responders, including police, fire, paramedics, nurses, and doctors. Our newly opened Navigation Center has received personal protective equipment for staff and residents from various community organizations. The Navigation Center, which opened in April, provides not only housing to the homeless, but health resources, counseling, job and social skills, and opportunities to reunite with family and friends. Councilmember Rhonda Shader was recently filmed at the Navigation Center to discuss the operations and updates of the center.
Hi everybody, it's Councilmember Rhonda Shader and I am here at the Placentia Navigation Center. This center opened in March, April of this year, and we are so excited about how it's going. I just did a tour with our advisory board because we have a board made up of citizens, city staff, and business owners in the area, and we've had so many success stories already. It hasn't even been a year, and we already have several people who have exited and been housed, been reunited with family. One of our greatest success stories is that we have a few residents here that ended up at our own Placentia Veterans Village. And so that just makes us so happy. I loved walking around and seeing how each of our homeless residents have made this home and have decorated their areas where they're sleeping and taking care of things and doing art projects. They have activities for them. They just bought a karaoke machine, so I'm hoping to get invited. And they have counseling, case managers here. You know, we envision this as a place where they could move forward and become their best self. And so there's these fantastic case managers here working with each individual uniquely to find out where they're at, what do they need, and what's the next step for them in becoming more and more independent and finding housing more permanently. So we're just so pleased that it's working out so well. We're grateful to our community for their patience, for their support of the center, and we just think it's a great addition and providing housing for almost 100 residents right here in our town.
Placentia is truly a remarkable community that comes together in times of adversity. Our city leaders from across the county have also come together during this pandemic. The regional effort is evident in our weekly meetings with all of Orange County's mayors and county officials. We have come together to discuss resources, policies, and community messaging so that we are all unified in our approach to this pandemic. In addition, our city administrator, Damien Arula, participates in weekly conference calls with federal, state, and county officials. They too discuss direct funding resources for cities in the wake of the pandemic. This collaborative approach has shown quite an advantage to our community, and we are seeing assistance come through to our businesses as they start to reopen. Businesses throughout our city have taken a hit. but the hit has been particularly direct for businesses on the brink and for those operating week to week. We began using our business license database to send direct emails to our local businesses with information on grant funding, state guidance, and resources. Through the assistance of the Placentia Chamber of Commerce, we had numerous webinars with our local business community to discuss their concerns and provide resources during this time of need. With limited dollars and with many businesses left with no hope of federal assistance, it was incumbent upon us to direct our resources. When businesses were required to move outdoors in order to remain open, the City Council approved a temporary outdoor business permit that allowed businesses to use additional outdoor areas. This included the use of adjacent parking lots, walkways, and sidewalks. This temporary outdoor business permit had no fees to the process, and staff worked diligently to provide a 24-hour turnaround on the application process. The city also created a new outdoor dining grant program designed to reach those small businesses in our community whose viability is disproportionately tied to the pandemic. Their success bolsters our city and keeps our community vibrant. I am especially proud of the successful outdoor dining in Old Town Placentia. Given the limited sidewalk space afforded to them, the City Council approved outdoor dining in Old Town and funding for the public amenities. The city allowed the outdoor dining accommodations in Old Town Placentia by closing Santa Fe Avenue from Bradford Avenue to Main Street. This resulted in greater use of the public street to provide a safe environment for patrons to dine out while maintaining an appropriate social distancing requirement. And I know that many people may still not be comfortable with shopping or dining, but our businesses will be ready to serve you when the time comes. We all know cities across the nation are facing serious economic times due to this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Placentia understands the importance of keeping our economy moving and prospering during these times of uncertainty. We are very fortunate that many of our developments that have been approved continue to be under construction. City Administrator Damian Arula will provide a brief update on these developments.
Thank you, Mayor Smith, for the opportunity to speak. During this public health crisis, the City of Placentia remains committed to protecting the health and safety of our community and employees while also striving to deliver excellent public services to our residents and businesses. We are working hard to keep our economy thriving during these times, and we are thankful that many of our developments are still moving forward as planned. I would like to highlight a few of them. The first one is the Integral Communities Lion Living Development, also known as the Herald, as in the first of its kind. That groundbreaking was held on July 10, 2019. It's a 215-unit, multifamily residential development, and amenities include a courtyard, clubhouse, exercise facility, dog run, swimming pool, and a 17,000 square foot common open space. Provides $2.4 million in one-time development impact fee revenue to the city, and the anticipated completion date is summer of 2021. Another one we're excited about is the USA Properties development adjacent to the planned Metrolink station. This is approximately 189 units. We are finalizing the development agreement. Plans and designs are also being finalized, and this will provide direct access to the Metrolink station platform, which is very unique in Southern California and really hasn't been developed in this area. The next one is in the TOD, is also a JPI development. It is a project approved by the Planning Commission and the City Council as well. 418 units, 10,000 square feet of retail. Financing is in progress and construction is starting next month. Impact fee revenue to the city from that development is about $8.6 million. Another long-awaited project is the Rose and Alta Vista project. This long-awaited corner property finally approved for development by the City Council and Planning Commission. And this is with SC Development partnering with Lion Homes. SC Development is the commercial retail builder and Lion Homes is the residential builder. This can provide 10,000 square feet of commercial retail space and 54 single-family homes. They're currently working on public improvements, including upgrading utilities to fit the needs of the development and sidewalk repairs, and grading of the site has commenced. The major portion of the construction is slated to start before the end of the year. Impact fee revenue from this project is slated to provide $1 million to the City of Placentia. Another exciting development is our new hotel, Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, located at 380 South Placentia. This groundbreaking was held on September 2019. It provides 116 new rooms and conference space. Anticipated taxes for this is over $400,000 annually to the city of Placentia. This construction is expected to be completed in early 2021, and this will provide 30 permanent jobs in the city. Another project that many of our residents are familiar with is the Placentia Village Plaza. This is located on the southeast corner of Kramer and Yorba Linda Boulevard. This includes a new Starbucks and Chipotle, which, as you know, opened last year to rave reviews, and we've also have a Pizza Rev opening soon. The second phase of this plaza, which we're excited about, will begin early in 2021, and this includes the improvements to KFC, Meat Up Barbecue, and the original Pancake House, and the design will overall match what you currently see with the new Starbucks. That concludes this portion, and thank you, Mayor Smith and members of the council, as well as those in attendance. As you can see, Placentia has a lot of fun and exciting things happening in our great city. I'd like to thank our city council for their support on these projects. I'd also like to thank our Placentia city staff for their hard work and dedication to the projects you've just seen. I remain confident that we will weather this storm because we are a community where we care for each other, and we are a city that works together to always be better. And now I would like to hand it back to Mayor Smith. Thank you all for your time, dedication, and commitment to Placentia.
There's one particular development that I am most proud of. As many of you know, the City of Placentia recently celebrated the grand opening of Placentia Veterans Village. The Placentia Veterans Village is a permanent supportive housing development that serves military veterans who are homeless or disabled. The city partnered with the County of Orange, Mercy Housing of California, and New Directions for Veterans to develop this high-quality, service-enriched, energy-efficient development. I would like to show you a video of Councilmember Craig Green at the Placentia Veterans Village.
Hello everybody, I'm Councilmember Craig Green, and I'm here today to do my part for the first ever virtual State of the City for the City of Placentia. Mayor Smith has done a great job this year, keeping everything squared away and keeping everything moving forward. So I want to thank him for the opportunity to participate in his State of the City. I'm standing here at the Veterans Village, which was one of my pet projects for some time now, being a veteran myself. And so if you look down this way, you'll see what a beautiful facility this is. It has 50 fully furnished apartments, 49 of which will be for homeless veterans. Now the good thing is we've already gotten 3 homeless individuals from our navigation center over on Melrose that are now residents of this facility. So talk about a good leg up and a good way to get their future going. This is it. They're fully furnished, like I say. It's a beautiful campus here, and everybody's done a great job. So I'd like to thank again Mayor Smith for the opportunity to do this little vignette. And thanks everybody. City staff has been working very hard, and thank you so much. The city's moving forward. It's just in a great place. Thank you so much.
Another great partnership that I would like to highlight is the city's collaboration with the County of Orange. With this unique partnership, the city has established an enhanced infrastructure financing district, an EIFD, near the city's future Metrolink station. This includes the Old Town Placentia area and the transit-oriented development packing house district. The purpose of this district is to create a funding mechanism that can facilitate the construction of much-needed public infrastructure improvements in this particular area. A portion of the property tax increment that the City of Placentia and the County of Orange receive would be specifically restricted to pay for the infrastructure projects. These infrastructure improvements include street improvements, pedestrian connectivity, and landscape and lighting upgrades. The establishment of the EIFD will not result in any new taxes or fees to property owners. Councilmember Vonka and County Board of Supervisor Doug Chafee have been extremely supportive in the EIFD and the economic benefits it will bring to the city. Here is a video of Councilmember Chad Vonka, who will discuss the EIFD efforts.
Thank you, Mayor Smith. It's my honor to serve as chairman of the Placentia EIFD. The EIFD was formed approximately a year ago and is a joint venture between the City of Placentia and the County of Orange. Our county supervisor, Doug Chafee, is a member of the board, and without his support, we would have never been able to put this together. Our EIFD is the only one in California with a city and a county coming together to contribute a portion of their tax increment to finance infrastructure improvements. These infrastructure improvements will be in the downtown and TOD districts and will allow these districts to be developed and to flourish. The current infrastructure in the Old Town area, some of it is quite old, as this is the area that Placentia started in. The IIFD wouldn't be possible without the support of the Orange County Board of Supervisors and the county staff, who worked diligently with us to get this unique district formed. This is a novel idea. Other cities have tried it, but they haven't been able to get their counties on board to support them. So we're a model for the state, and several other cities and counties are looking at how we're doing this so that they can also fund infrastructure improvements in their portions of the city that need it. Thank you all for being here with me today for the 2020 State of the City. Back to you, Mayor.
We also are fortunate enough that in November of 2018, Placentia voters overwhelmingly approved Measure U, a 1% sales tax increase to help fund the cost of much-needed infrastructure repairs and maintenance, as well as public safety and other critical services. Measure U sales tax increase began collection on April 1st of 2019. For the first time in many years, the city has been able to fund much needed road and infrastructure repairs. The City Council allocated a total of $3.2 million in Measure U, SB1 gas tax, and Measure M proceeds to fund the street repairs and maintenance last year. Projects over the next year include purchasing new police equipment and vehicles, repaving more than 1 million square feet of pavement, and slurry sealing more than 4.3 million square feet of residential streets, sidewalks, and curb improvements. To ensure the Measure U funds are spent accordingly, the Placentia City Council voted unanimously 5-0 to update a reserve policy to include guidelines for appropriating new, ongoing, or one-time unrestricted revenues. With the establishment of a Citizens Oversight Committee, independent financial audits are conducted to ensure that all Measure U funds are spent properly. Back in June, our City Council adopted the budget for this fiscal year. While it is a routine action taken every year, the pandemic made this year very unique. Our staff met with our financial advisor in March and quickly began making adjustments to the budget. Despite the unprecedented economic climate in which the city is faced with, the 2020-21 proposed budget reflects an unparalleled progress the city has achieved towards overall financial health. Even with over a 19% decline in revenues, the city will not only meet all of its contractual obligations, but will also maintain an unassigned general fund balance of $381,100 and contribute an additional $1 million of Measure U revenues to the general fund contingency reserve. These collective contributions increase the city's overall general fund contingency reserve to $2.8 million, which translates towards accomplishing 45% of the city's reserve policy. This is the direct result of the fiscally responsible approach the City Council has adopted over the last several fiscal years, continuing on a path towards the goal of maintaining the city's long-term fiscal sustainability, and thus the essential public safety, street, and road repair projects that our residents desire. In addition, we have been actively seeking reimbursement through the county, state, and federal agencies to help offset the COVID-related emergency expenses, such as the personal protective equipment for our fire and police departments. We have also been fortunate enough to receive CARES Act funds to cover these various COVID-related emergency expenses and will continue to pursue future costs related to this pandemic. We didn't pursue public service only to govern in times of prosperity. We didn't run for office to make easy decisions look brave. Those employed by the city chose to work for the city because they care about Placentia and are dedicated public servants. They are passionate about our workforce and recognize the impacts that they can have on people's lives. That is especially the case right now, right here, today. Our firefighters and police officers answer the call and enter dangerous situations every day. Today they confront a threat even the best training would leave undetectable. They face a danger that can enter their home and spread to their loved ones. The concept of working from home is a privilege unavailable to our first responders, our 911 dispatchers, our building inspectors, all frontline staff people delivering food, service, and support. I want to talk about the current state of policing. Over the course of the fiscal year, the Placentia Police Department responded to over 14,000 calls for service and made nearly 1,100 arrests, while maintaining an average response time for emergency calls of 4 minutes and 31 seconds. The Placentia Police Department is committed to the delivery of compassionate and professional police services. All Placentia Police Department personnel adhere to the Law Enforcement Code of Ethics and the core values of the department. As a retired police chief, I understand the significance to uphold these values. We have a selective hiring practice, which includes a thorough background investigation, polygraph examination, and psychological screening. We do not hire anyone with a history or a propensity for violence or racism. The men and women of the Placentia Police Department respect the constitutional rights of all people and stand ready to protect our community. Our City Council recently approved the purchase of body-worn cameras and cameras on every patrol vehicle. This new safety equipment will not only ensure transparency to the public, but will protect our officer in the line of duty. Our officers will continue to commit to build strong relations of trust and keep Placentia a pleasant place to live, work, and visit. One of the most challenging decisions that I've made on City Council was the establishment of the new Placentia Fire and Life Safety Department. After spending hundreds of hours reviewing data and conducting a comprehensive fiscal analysis, the Council made a decision to establish its own Fire and Life Safety Department. Over the past year, the city has worked diligently to hire the most experienced and qualified fire personnel for our new fire department. The city hired a veteran fire chief who has 35 years of fire experience, previously leading a department of over 350 personnel at 37 fire stations and protecting a population of 1.2 million residents. In addition, the city hired 3 full-time battalion chiefs with over 95 years of combined fire experience, 6 full-time fire captains with over 101 years of experience, 7 full-time fire engineers with over 61 years of experience, one of which received a North County Regional Hero Award. Lastly, the city hired 6 full-time firefighters whom have over 65 years of combined fire and emergency medical experience. All of the city's fire personnel meet or exceed the national and state standards, and 3 of them have even received the Firefighter of the Year distinction from their previous jurisdiction. Since the start of the new Placentia Fire and Life Safety Department on July 1st, 2020, I'm proud to announce that the department has responded to over 845 calls for service. This includes 671 medical calls and 162 fire-related calls. The average response time decreased from 9.5 minutes in July 2019 to less than 5.5 minutes in July of 2020, thanks in part to changes in dispatching and a newly installed system that preempts traffic signals for emergency vehicles. We are extremely proud of the initial data and look forward to sharing more positive results to our community. This virus is unrelenting, so our commitment to one another must be just as persistent. For all the days, weeks, and months ahead, our actions will be guided by a sense of civic and social responsibility. And our decisions must continue to flow from science and the best data available. Please continue to adhere to the state and county's health orders to combat this virus. I know this has been a difficult time for you. It has been tough for me too. The coronavirus has fundamentally altered our lives and our livelihoods. It has reshaped every city, every town in America. It has reshaped Placentia, but it will not define us. Placentia has been and always will be defined by its people, their spirit, their fortitude, and their compassion. I want to thank the Placentia Chamber of Commerce and city staff for finding a way to still have this annual event. Thank you all for taking time out of your day to learn about what the city is doing for you. The state of our city will be stronger on the other side because of you. Thank you, and God bless.